Justice warriors, good day to ya. Top of the hour, almost. Sorry, I'm so late. I knew I should have just said 11, but it is about 10:53 on Monday morning, President's Day, and we are here. I was a little worried when I switched up the time from 10:30 to 11 to 10:45, and there was nobody in the chat yet. I was like, "Oh no, am I on my own?" So it's lovely to see that you guys are here. Let me take a deep breath and get rolling. I am so excited to see you guys. It is so hard to go the whole weekend without doing a live. I did a short one yesterday in the evening. I don't know if you guys caught it. It was about Brent Kopaka. That guy just keeps coming up. So should I I kind of want to speed read through what you guys have already said, but then I also don't want to be like super rushed like I always am when I'm trying to keep up with the chat and do the video. So I think I'll just start right here. I'm going to just highlight Michael McAllister with all the smiley faces and just take a deep breath. I get so excited. I get a little nervous when I'm running late. I hate running late, but mostly it's just the excitement. I'm so happy to see you guys. I hope everyone had a really good weekend. And I hope you have your coffee or your water or whatever it is that refreshes you. Oh, thank you guys. Katie Bug says the background looks pretty. So I do have my bunnies. That might be kind of hard to see them. I've got a little fairy house, a little magic globe, one bad bunny, two bad bunnies. I'm afraid if I move stuff, they'll all fall apart. But let me see if I can get this bad bunny so that you can see her badness. But yeah, when I move just like one little thing, then I have to move every little thing. And here we go. I just don't want you guys to miss the bunny. I better quit touching stuff. Oh my goodness, I'm going to knock everything down. Okay, I stop. You can see her legs, so you know she's there. I better not touch anything, better not breathe. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let your light shine. Is that what it says behind you? Yes, it says, let your light so shine. It's a quote from Matthew. And so, yeah, you can't see it that well, but like I said, I'm not going to adjust anything. I'm just going to leave it and keep my fingers crossed that things don't all come toppling down. Because that's the problem with just changing one little thing, like trying to get the little ironing board in and then trying to get this and trying to get that and trying to get the other thing. And luckily, I have a ton of cool stuff. I felt like it was a little too floral for a while there. So I don't have much flowers now. I have just all kinds of goofy little grandma stuff. Anyway, my goodness, where to start? How about with a joke? Can we just say that this criminal defendant is basically being prosecuted for mansplaining? Because, there's truth to every joke. Like, I honestly have no idea if he is guilty or not of what he's been arrested for. We know that he's guilty of mansplaining, right? And people are just like ready to prosecute him because he was rude to waitresses at a restaurant in Pennsylvania. And not to say that that's okay. It's never okay to me for anybody to be rude to anybody. But if that was a thing, like the entire country would be arrested because people are freaking rude, especially to folks in the food industry and just retail. Anybody who's worked retail or worked in the food industry, you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy, isn't it? So no, we can't have falling lakes again. You guys, I love you. And like I said, I'm just so excited to be here, and I am a little nervous just because I was running so late. It's already almost 11. Anyway, what I want to start with is just the whole Kopaka thing. I don't know that there's a connection between Brent Kopaka and what happened with the Idaho 4. Honestly, on day one when it happened, I noticed right away because it's a very close proximity and a very small town. You guys, Pullman is so small. The university, Washington State University, is a big university. It's probably roughly 25,000 people. but the city of Pullman is probably like 11,000. Like all combined, it's probably 36,000. There's not much of a town. It is the university basically, and then just a small little smidge of a town. And then you got Moscow that is roughly 25,000 total, and I think about 13,000 of that is the city, and then maybe 11 or 12,000 is probably the student population. So we're talking 50,000 people roughly in this area that's about 9 miles spread out from one end to the other. And it's a very isolated rural area. It's really considered one town. So as soon as the SWAT team thing happened a month after the Idaho 4, my first thought was, how could it not be connected? How could a SWAT team incident, something as epic as that, not be connected to this tragic quadruple slaying, something as epic as that? 30 days apart, opposite ends of town. So that was my first thought. And then as the information came in, I thought, okay, they're not related. They're just not related. And then more information comes in, and it's only really been the last week, I'd say, that I'm thinking, I wonder if these are related. I wonder if they are. Hey, Maud, thanks for being here. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Anyone who's not aware yet, I want to make an announcement that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, the almighty Drip Drop on Crime Circus is doing a live on this topic exactly. And I just saw that this morning and I was so excited. Harsh did a short thing on it, I think Friday night. He said nobody's talking about Kopaka. So I had to get into his little comments and I'm like, are you calling me a nobody, Mr. Harsh? But I kind of am a nobody when you look at the size of Drip Drop or Harsh. I mean, these guys are freaking awesome. Hopefully, I can stick with this. I'm coming up on my half-year anniversary at the end of this month. Like the last day of this month will be exactly 6 months since I started my channel, but then it was a couple days later before I did my first thing. Anyway, so let's see. I'm with you now. Gotta let this coffee kick in, I guess. So, you guys, I'm just like not wanting to be on either side of the fence when it comes to the guilt or the innocence of the criminal defendant. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. When he was initially arrested, yeah, he looked guilty as sin. And they had all the things stacked up to prove his guilt, to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he should be arrested. And I was excited. I was excited that the culprit was taken off the streets and maybe the streets were safer. Maybe. And as time has gone on, it doesn't add up. It just simply doesn't add up. So I'd say my biggest doubt about the lone wolf theory is just the timing. They've gotten too tight of a window, roughly 10 minutes, for one person to go and do this whole thing. But I know what you guys really want to talk about. Okay. Dylan, have you seen the harsh reality? And I put something up on my community board about it. Harsh Reality did an interesting show this morning about a guy named Justin who has a little tiny channel who made a video about Dylan overnight, like in the middle of the night. And then Harsh made a video about Justin's video. And it's kind of set the YouTube on fire this morning. Did you wake up to the smoke and the flames? Let me see what you're saying. Whenever you get a chance, please check out Van Life. They have 2 actual crime scene photos allegedly, and they won't talk about till June, they say. I just think nothing adds up in this case. Wow. I have been following Van Life because she is the one that did that really amazing animation of the house with the little people, going in there. And that whole tragic event, she's the one who did that cool graphics of it. And so I've been subbed to her channel since then, and she has some pretty outrageous ideas. I will, weigh in my opinion on that. But I think that anything's possible and no stone can be unturned. So, Pixie Knicker says, "Oh, I'm so confused about that video. Are you talking about Harsh's video, Pixie Knickers? Because, yeah, I'm a little confused about it too. What fire?" Oh, let me drink some water. So cute. What's fire? So Harsh lit a fire. This guy Justin. Why do I have a hair bothering me on my glasses? That is really going to bother me now. Um, my goodness. There, I'm all naked, you guys. Get my glasses. Get my hat. How annoying. That has never happened. It's all new every single day. Anyway, happy Monday. So the fire, let's get to the fire. Harsh set a fire ablaze about Dylan. So this guy, Justin, who says he's trans, says that he knows all these things about Dylan and that Dylan was beat up a week ago today by 3 or 4 guys. It was kind of confusing because I think it said like 3 of the alleged killers and 1 other person. So 4 people, but not all 4 of them were the alleged killers. Anyway, it's a pretty wild setup. It's a pretty wild story. And it could be that this Justin person is just like the little redhead from Arkansas. It could be. I don't get that feeling, but I also haven't had enough time to really digest it. It took me maybe half a day or a day to let the dust settle with that whole thing with that stupid, ridiculous fake letter that, I still am not 100% sure that it's fake, but I have felt 100% sure that she was fake and that the letter was fake. I could be incorrect, but anyway, this whole thing with this Justin guy seems like it could be as bogus as that was, but it could also be that it's authentic. I don't know. And for Harsh to be covering it, I'm a big Harsh fan. So I'm curious. I'm curious what you guys think. Yeah, Pixie Knickers is that's what you were talking about. I don't think I've seen it yet, Katie Bug. So I put Harsh's link in my community post. And then if you're watching Harsh's video, it's like 10 minutes or less. He's got a link to that, to Justin's video. That's also about 10 minutes. So, I'm thinking that it might be a nothing burger, yet another nothing burger. I'm really sorry that I have tested positive for COVID-19 and I'm going to hang in there and keep up with my faith and trust in God. Bless everyone. Amen. Oh, I'm so sorry, Michael. One of my kids has had long COVID, and I think everybody in my family, all 6 of us, have had COVID at least once. I had it this last summer. It's not fun. But I know that the COVID right now is really, really harsh. It's not as deadly as it was a couple years ago, but it's also the long COVID. It's really hard to recover from. So I feel for you. I watched Justin's video. He shouldn't have said a lot of what he said, though, just my opinion. Yeah, I can totally agree with you on that. Although it's also a free country. But I like to be mindful and I like to be respectful. And yeah, these streets of YouTube, they're tough, and it's tough to keep, to keep your bearings, to know what's real and what's crapola. I mean, it's really rough, isn't it? And you just got to trust your gut. That's why, so many content creators say, do your own research, right? Because we do look to the content creators that we really like, and then we respect them and their research and their opinion, and we think they probably know what they're talking about. But we've always got to keep an open mind, always, 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 always. So I have been tested positive since Friday morning, and now I have to be locked down for 2 weeks. I'm sorry, Michael, that you have to be locked down for 2 weeks, but I'm telling you, I loved the whole lockdown thing. But that's just because I'm an introvert and I had, you know, worked fought against that my whole life, and people that knew me even thought that I was an extrovert, and I'm not. I'm an introvert. So I loved the whole stay-at-home order. I really did. And I'm just like, I think I'm going to keep doing that for the rest of my life. Screw everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Also, I mean, I have a big family, so it's not like I'm alone. I like my solitude. I don't get a lot of it, but yeah, I think it's healthy to have boundaries. I think it's healthy to keep uh germs away. I think people are hard to trust, not just with their germs, but people can turn on you. People can pretend like they're a friend when they're a frenemy, and I just get really sick of that crap. So, like I said, screw everybody. I don't need any of it. But I feel for you, especially for people that live alone. I think that's really rough. Or if you're in a situation like, say, with a roommate that you're not that crazy about, then that's going to be hard. So yeah, we hope you feel better, Michael. JLR did a live on Justin too. Thank you, Rachel. I actually caught most of that. I've been keeping up with JLR over the weekend, and yeah, he seemed to think it was a whole pile of malarkey. And I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that it is. But I liked hearing his perspective about it for sure. Um, that 10 minutes is what the cops say, but we know it's more like 6 or more. What was going on in the 8-hour cleanup or the murder still taking place begs me to differ. Absolutely. I'm going to highlight that one and get another drink of water. I've like cotton mouth already. That's what happens when I eat stuff like Thai food. I get cotton mouth no matter how much water I drink. And I had like a Asian noodle type of thing for a late breakfast. It was really good, but kind of like Thai food. So a little salty, a little sweet, a little salty. So yeah, it definitely, what you just said there, I'm going to reread that. The 10 minutes is what the cops say, but we know it's more like 6 or more. What was going on in the 8-hour cleanup, or was the murder still taking place, begs me to differ. Right. I wonder if things didn't happen before 4 o'clock, but then that 4 o'clock is being used because of the DoorDash delivery. We don't know a whole lot about the DoorDash delivery, although law enforcement says that they spoke to the person that made that DoorDash delivery, and that they've seen the videotapes, like the Ring doorbell from the neighbors, to see what time it was delivered at, which really makes me wonder why they won't just say exactly the minute that it was delivered at. That makes me suspicious right there. It's really hard for me to trust law enforcement in this situation all the way around. And right there, that's a huge one. So yeah, let's keep up with you guys. Oh, where are we? Why is my thing jumping around like that? 3 of the people that were in the house that night is what he said. Good morning from Texas. How now we know why Ethan's mother stated that his death had nothing to do with a love triangle. That's just confusing me. I'll be honest. You are an introverted extrovert like me. Yeah, I'd say that I do a pretty good job of pretending to be an extrovert. Like I said, I fought against it my whole life. And then with the whole COVID stay-at-home order, I was like, why? Why do I fight against it? Why don't I just embrace my inner introvert? Um, just be you, right? It's fine to be an introvert, but I think like socially we're conditioned to think that we're supposed to be more extroverted. Good morning, y'all. And yes, we're having flu more than COVID around here, but I'm still praying for all. I have had it a few times. My doctor thinks I had the original, and last year I had 2 times prayers. Yes. being sick just sucks. That's why I'm always trying to remind you guys and remind me to do everything that we can every day to take as good care of ourselves as we possibly can, right? It's all about how you feel and feeling good right now. The immediate gratification. And I know from my life experience that I feel really good immediate gratification when I eat a lot of vegetables and high protein and fruit and exercise and sleep and stay hydrated. It's instant gratification. So that's what keeps me motivated. They originally said 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. for the murders before they changed the whole story. Thank you, Heather Mosier. You are completely on it. Man, the YouTube is acting weird today. It's a Monday, right? So maybe he was already done on third floor at the time of the DoorDash. Oh, Nico, that's a crazy comment right there. So I'm going to add you as a moderator, Nico. Thank you so much for being willing to do that. It says that you're a moderator now, but maybe the next comment you make, you want to try to make another comment and see if it shows up blue with a little wrench. So maybe he was already done on the third floor at the time of the DoorDash. What? Ugh. I'm sorry. That's just such a sick thought, just the whole thing. Like, so this is what really gets me right now, this moment. What really gets me is reading through that freaking affidavit. Oh, there you are, Nico. You're a mod. Yay. Reading through that freaking affidavit. Where is the mention of the red stuff? There's no mention of red stuff at all, except the one latent shoe print. So it makes me very suspicious. Is there no red stuff? Is it that these people were all, stabbed multiple times and there was no red stuff because it all got cleaned up or something? I mean, that's what it reads like. It reads like these people didn't bleed, that, they were stabbed and that they just had wounds. But then there's stories like the Mabbott, the coroner, who said it was just a red stuff bath. Trigger alert, trigger warning. So which is it? Is it that the Corporal Brett Payne forgot to mention the red stuff in the affidavit, or was it all cleaned up? And if it was all cleaned up, then how come it wasn't mentioned that it was all cleaned up? It really, really bothers me. That's one of my biggest issues right now, I would say. I feel like I was having a sinus infection or something else. Then it hit our youngest, got it, and hubby took great care of us. I don't want none of that. I'm eating veggies and healthy. Yes, vegetables are what it's all about. And in case you don't know, because I haven't said it in a while, you know how they say adults are supposed to eat 5 servings of fruits and veggies a day? That's really, really low. That's like bare minimum. It's more like 9 servings. And like I've said, it should be twice as many veggies as fruit. So when I say twice as many veggies as fruit, I don't mean like, 4 servings of vegetables and 1 serving of fruit. I mean like 6 servings of vegetable and 3 servings of fruit, at least. Like that's, the more veggies, the better. The less fruit, the better. But I love my fruit. So I just can't help it. I know, Nico. There you go. The red stuff oozing out of the house, but none on the inside. And that's where people have said that it looks staged to them. I mean, when have you ever seen red stuff oozing out of a house? And then it was also oozing through the kitchen, like down the kitchen cupboards. Do you guys remember seeing photos of that? And then we were told, oh no, that's not that, that's something else. But no, it was that, allegedly. I just get so sick of the being lied to. I really do think that was the red stuff on the wall. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get gaslit all the time. I mean, that was one of the things with my channel that I think Squirrels on Fire started, like Justice A to Z, come ungaslight yourself. Let's all ungaslight ourselves together. There's so much freaking gaslighting. And just like with the thing with Kopaka, when that happened, and we're told like same day that it has nothing to do with the other thing. How can you be so sure it has nothing to do with the other thing? That's not enough time to vet your sources. That's not enough time to research it. That's not enough time to investigate. That always makes me suspicious when they're so quick to come up with a determination like that. Um, so Nico, who we're talking about, laying in wait ambush style. Hey, Stevie Irwin, did you get my last email I sent you last night? Would you mind? Do you have time and energy to try to put two more people into your crazy board? Chief Jenkins and the corporal, or not corporal, sorry, the sergeant um, Brett Boyd that shot Brent Kopaka. Can you add those to your crazy board? Because I tried to do it with my own little graphics and stuff, and I'm just not that adept. But it would be awesome if you're able to, and don't mind if you don't feel like you want to do it. I'll get it together and do it. So let's see. So yeah, that whole thing, like in the beginning, I think a lot of us wondered if somebody was laying in wait, right? And then we were told that the car was driving around in circles and the 3-point turn and all that. So, that narrowed it down to that nobody was laying in wait. That freaking white car, you guys, have you heard that Brent Kopaka allegedly also drives a Hyundai Elantra? I don't know if his is allegedly white or allegedly silver, but it seems like everybody now in this story is driving a white Hyundai Elantra. And wasn't there a white Hyundai Elantra parked in front of Jack D's house in so many photos and body cams that we've all seen? Like, what's up with that? That white Hyundai Elantra never got looked at. Oh, it's so frustrating. This case just is ridiculous. Not that I believe everything Justin said, just helping you understand my last message. Sure. Absolutely. Um, yeah. I think it's always good to wait and see. I think it's always good not to rush to judgment, in my opinion. As I have said from day one, where's the the red stuff trail at? Right, Caleb Lee, absolutely. I mean, people were cleaning up. Whoever those people were, whether that was roommates in the house or people that came into the house, person that came into the house, people cleaned up, obviously. Obviously. Um, So, a lot on these crime scenes, they flush the plumbing out to make sure that they didn't wash the blood off of them. Well, they better. They absolutely better do that. That'd be crazy if they didn't. And take the drain apart and all that good stuff. Katie Bug says, yes, Caleb. Where is that trail? I forgot we cannot use the B word YouTube rules, red stuff. I wasn't even 100% sure if we could use the B word. I try to be careful. I just try to not be so graphic. I got ice in my mouth by accident that time, you guys. That's funny. You can see blood running outside. You can see red stuff running outside of the house. It's crazy. Maybe they spilled paint, but it looks like the red stuff. Right. And again, when have you ever seen that? And if there was that much of it, then wouldn't the floor have been covered with it? Like, how on earth would they be able to see a latent shoe print underneath all of that red stuff? It just doesn't add up. I honestly, my opinion is that in those 8 hours, there was a lot of cleaning going on, a lot of memorization of what our story is going to be. I'm just, I'm suspicious of everybody. I'm going to say that. I am literally suspicious of almost everybody in the story. I'm actually not really suspicious of Einan Harsh, if that's how you say his name, the chef. I'm not really suspicious of that guy, Jeremy, but I am suspicious of almost every single character in the entire Idaho 4 story. I just am. Um, the only thing I would believe is he is working for the defense. Well, he says, ranch boss, he says that he's working for the defense off the books, which, that doesn't really add up unless he's just talking, just blowing smoke. Caleb Lee, good morning. I've been slacking this weekend. I can do that for you. Oh, thank you, Stevie Irwin. That's great. You deserve the weekend off. That would be awesome. You did such a great job with that other stuff. And then it wasn't until late last night that I finally got to the third one that you sent and saw that what town Brent Kopaka grew up in, or the town that his mother lives in, Pierce, Idaho, like 2 hours away from Pullman. He's the oldest of 6 kids, it looks like, from the information that you found. And I'm curious where you found that, because I was not able to find anything like that in all of my research. And also that he's the uncle to 4. I think it said he had 3 nephews and 1 niece. And, I want to know more. People keep saying that he worked for the IT at Idaho University of Idaho. Did he really? Could he have had something to do with the whole blackout, the internet blackout on the night or the morning of the unalivings? Is that true? I don't know that that's true, but I keep hearing that again and again, that he was security for IT at the University of Idaho. I don't know if that's true. And who are his roommates? That whole thing with that he was threatening to kill his roommates, and then his roommates were no longer on the premises, and then he was unalived after a very long standoff. I mentioned in the video last night, it's been a couple of months since the incident happened, so I would expect within about 2 months we'll get a report from the State Bureau of Criminal Investigation is usually who puts those out, the SWAT team reports. So I don't know. I'm very interested. So let's see. Where are we? Right here. Oh, thanks for the congrats on getting to 3,000 subscribers. That's very very exciting. Thank you. Okay, where'd we go? Oh, is the imprint in the house? My goodness, what happened? I'm telling you, it's acting really bizarre today. Okay, the imprint is in the house. Hey, girl, how are you? So, yeah, I skipped over that. Thanks, Nico, for catching that. The last time I read the rules, it said you can show fake red stuff, but you can't show real red stuff. I didn't read anything about these words. Interesting. I didn't know we were not supposed to say that. Who ranch boss is working for the defense? The guy, Justin, the one who said that he's trans. Ahoy, the imprint. I'm like, thumbprint. What's that? Let's see. Welcome to the true crime community. Hello, everyone. Getting late start. Nice to go slow. Absolutely. I know it's a Monday. It feels like, well, it's President's Day too. That's what it is. It's a national holiday. So if anybody's planning to go to the bank or the post office, just know that you can't, right? Because I was thinking all day, like, oh, I'm going to go to the bank and take care of this and that and the other thing. And then I'm like, wait a second. I guess I'm not. Not unless I do it online, which, I like to do things in person. I'm weird like that. Apparently Harsh, the neighbor, also drives a white Elantra. Not sure if that's a new car to him or same thing he already had. He moved down to San Francisco. I know Squirrely Burger But then there's also people who've said that he's moved out of the country. So I don't know. I think a lot of people just talk. A lot of people just talk. Um, Down the outside on, oh my goodness, this thing is really wrapped up tight today. Maybe YouTube is having a national holiday and a lot of their employees aren't working. I bet you that's what it is, because it is just being bizarre. It is being really bizarre. Okay, I am going to stop complaining about it because it's bad. It's really bad. Um, So here I was, right there, down the outside on the brick foundation, but I don't know why I mentioned that, because I'm feeling like it's not mentioned, but it's been shown in the videos when they were investigating the unaliving. Right, on the outside and then on the inside too. If you saw some of those photographs, and it's not as distinct red, the inside photographs, because the cupboards are brown. So it almost looks like it could be more like rust or something. It's more like the color of black tea. Um, let's see. Yes, Kale says, "Good morning, the imprint. I love your style and opinions." Anybody who's not familiar with the imprint yet, she's got a fabulous channel. She speaks from the heart. I feel solid truth, mostly or all to the Kylie Rodney case that I've seen. I think it's just about all to Kylie Rodney case, but I really appreciate how the imprint presents her material. I think you guys would too. Cartels in the 80s, 90s used white Toyotas, muling out. It was Jeeps, hidden pockets. I remember you saying that, Annie Ruler. Thank you for reiterating that. Because that reminds me of, like, with human trafficking, the whole thing with white vans. Like, people keep lately talking about looking out for this, that, and the other, the zip ties on the back passenger handle of your car, $100 bill in your windshield wiper. White vans, look out for the white vans. That's a thing. So yeah, that is news to me. And Annie Ruler, you seem to always have your thumb right there on the pulse. So I'd say that you're probably right on the money about that. Um, and BLK's parents' driveway in Johnson, Idaho. And that is his white Elantra, Stevie Irwin. Why do I want to put a V in there? Stevie Irwin. Um, so Brent Lee Kopaka's parents' driveway in Johnson, Idaho. 132 Timberline Drive. So Johnson is the one that's 2 hours from. Okay, gotcha. Good morning. Stevie says, "Kale, have you solved this case yet?" Sometimes I feel like we're getting there, you guys, like we're solving it. And then other times I'm just like, should we just give up? I mean, it's such a mind F to me because of all the gaslighting. And I just feel like a lot needs to be looked at with the law enforcement, with all the connections, like with Stevie Irwin's crazy board, and especially with putting those two more characters on it. And I'm sure we can keep adding to it, but just those two, to me, that really shows that the criminal defendant is right in between the two police chiefs, and then the SWAT team victim is right in between the corporal and the sergeant. So that's why I wanted you to put those two more on there, because to me it just shows how they're surrounded and how it all makes a kind of like a pie, almost like a pie chart. It makes like a whole. So you guys, where are we at? We're just at about 40 minutes. I'm wanting to get through your comments and then wrap this one up, just because everything's been a little bit off. And I think there's like allergies or something, because I keep needing to scratch my nose and I have this like itch on my back and the hair in my eyes. And Cottonmouth. Anyway, I'm thinking we'll just wrap this one up and then we'll get the ball rolling with tomorrow. Let's do a 9 o'clock sharp so that we can be done at 10 o'clock sharp for the Drip Drop Crime Circus live to talk more about Brent Lee Kopaka. Heavenly Cloud says a police chief who smiles during interviews of a huge killing spree. Oh, I know. A huge unaliving spree, I mean. No 911 call for 8 hours. 12 hours later, cop shows up at scene. Right. 12 hours, the 8 plus the 4. DM is frozen for 8 hours, but calls and texts others, suspicious at the least. 100% Heavenly Clouds. Thank you for just putting all that in one paragraph. Those mattresses were also covered as well. You can see it when they loaded them up in the pickup. It makes no sense. One footprint. No, it's kind of a joke, like not a funny one. So Stevie Irwin, not quite. Give me a minute. Kale answering the question about have you solved the case yet? Not quite. Just give me one more minute. We got this. I mean, honestly, I could tell you what I think it is right now, but you guys might think I'm nuts in case you haven't figured that part out yet. The blackout. Yes. Yes, the blackout. Congratulations on the 3,000 subs. Can we all be honest here? Yes, Caleb, please be honest here. Please, please. The question is what ticked him off to exactly. What would the motive be? Unless it's substances and, cars that don't tell. Hit the like button, you all. Yes. Thank you, Harsh. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you'd be so kind. It means so much to me to try to keep this channel going strong. Well done, Justice. 3,000 strong warriors. Woohoo. The imprint is here. Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Where are we at? I'm like 8 minutes behind. So, because I asked that question a while ago. YouTube CEO steps down after 9 years. Not sure if that is causing issues on YouTube. When was this in the news, Heavenly Clouds? I did not hear that. That's hilarious. My personal rule, never park next to a white van. Absolutely. White vehicles blend in during the daylight. I was almost, oh my goodness. Imprint? I am so sorry to hear that. Wow. Can you say what part of the country you're in? Like what state? And was this like in like a Walmart parking lot or what type of situation if you want to share? Oh, I'm so glad that didn't happen. That's insane. My goodness, the imprint, praise the Lord, it didn't happen, Pixie Knicker says. Absolutely. And thanks for sharing. That is wild. Please make a video and report it if you haven't already. Is it a stalker? Caleb Lee asks. I know the Lord reminded me of something Stephanie Harlow said and saved me. And if you haven't yet read The Gift of Fear imprint and everybody else, read that book. That'll save you too. Maddie bedroom is right above DM bedroom. Boy, she must have heard a lot that night. Absolutely. Remember, these people are always watching us. And Caleb Lee, when you say these people, are you talking about the gaslighters? Are you talking about the people that made that attempt on the imprint? Or are you talking about both? Is it like one and the same? So unfortunately, this reeks a cover up. So yeah, I was going to share with you. That's my opinion. Heavenly Clouds. That's 100% my opinion. I hope the trial will be televised. Caleb and Katie Bug. I will do a video on this soon. Oh, good. Excellent. I'm looking forward to that. What's your favorite color? If you're asking me, Stevie, I would say, can you see the color of this stone? It's kind of like that battleship blue, kind of a sage green, that stormy color I was talking about last week. That's my favorite color. It was on the news today. LOL. Oh my goodness, Heavenly Clouds. That's hilarious. So it probably is the combination of the CEO stepping down and it being a national holiday. They probably have like nobody working or nobody supervising, right? When the cat's away, the mice will play. That is wild. That's so funny. Thank I think you're so brave, Pixie Knicker, says the imprint. I was watching your videos recently and I think you're awesome. 100%. So do you guys, did you see that really brave video that CCTV put up a few days ago? And then I think she took it down, which isn't surprising because it was very intense. It was extremely like not the kind of stuff that you see anywhere. Um, you know, kind of like the Dahmer, Donner type of stuff and the whole like Illuminati type of stuff. I'm really glad that I saw it though. Georgia, US Walmart parking lot. Oh my goodness. See, how did I guess Walmart parking lot? That is so scary, you guys. Yeah, Georgia. Oh, wow. Be so careful in Walmart parking lots. And what's even scarier is that there are surveillance cameras all over in Walmart parking lots, supposedly. So if anybody's going to do that, that should be like the last place that they would do it. But are those surveillance cameras actually working? Are they actually running? David 420 says so far Brian K appears clearly guilty of touching a sheath and driving around in circles. Are you the one who said that a couple of weeks ago, David 420? Because I loved that. That's been cracking me up ever since. I think about that all we really know he's guilty of is driving around in circles and not knowing how to park. Oh, good to laugh, especially when we're talking about such a close scrape for the imprint. That is just so scary. I'm so glad you got away from that, and I'm really curious to hear the story. Please remember to like the live. If you like the content, please sub and share on the platform, but then return to reassure that you were not inadvertently unsubbed. Yes. I think that there's been a lot going on with the whole like shadow banning thing, and not just for my own channel, but anybody who discusses the Kylie Rodney case in particular. And a lot of people are getting a lot more heat than me. Yes, I have been screaming about Walmart parking lots. It's the number one place for violent crimes to happen. Wow, I did not realize that. I mean, parking lots have always been bad. That is so scary. I also stay away from Walmarts too. I know I just didn't want to be like an anti-ad for them. I don't know if YouTube would appreciate that on their platform because they're probably owned by the same people, right? Same corporations. I try to, unless I'm sent there. However, I am prepared. And before I park, I drive around the lot once or twice. Oh, what a good idea, Caleb, to drive around once or twice. Really good idea. And yeah, maybe like a large service dog would be good too. You heard of main squeeze being the number one in your life, Zena. You are my main like. Oh, you're so sweet, Heavenly Clouds. I really appreciate that. That's really nice. Junifer Robb says, I left a bag of dog food in a shopping cart at Walmart, looked at video with manager and saw lady take it out of the cart and put it in her car. Right. And were you able to get your bag of dog food back? Walmart does not care about you or me. They invest all of their time and money into eliminating employees and surveilling shoppers to the nth degree to prevent loss. I'd say you're right about that, Kale. Have a great day, everyone. Take it easy, Toby Toes says. And that's happened here in Alabama at the malls, grocery store, and Walmart. And our local news reports and tells us to get a worker to walk out to our vehicles. It's crazy. Wow, that is nuts. They also have a state-of-the-art tech and cameras to prevent loss. Anyone heard about guys who are putting a book on the exactly other side of the driver's side of the windshield and then You thinking regular drive off, it'll blow off the car's windshield? No, haven't heard anything about that. Didn't get the dog food back, but if you get assaulted in the parking lot, oh well. Wow. Yeah, I'm curious for imprint if they were able to do anything with that as far as those criminals. I'm assuming that it was more than one. Maybe it was just one. Moscow law enforcement had a call to Walmart on 11/13/22 for shoplifter. No report taken. Very interesting, Rachel Smith. Yeah, they do a lot of that no report taken stuff. That is not right. That is not how they are supposed to operate. BFF, I go with God and the 2A. Oh, that got retracted. So yeah, back to my opinion about this case being a big cover up. Honestly, I'll just speak straight from the heart, shoot from the hip. It seems to me like it is substance related. It seems to me like it is cars that don't tell. You know what I mean when I say that, right? Cars do tell. um, it really does. I mean, the whole modus operandus, the whole method seems like it's consistent with that. Um, Retribution, a threat, money owed. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but it seems like some sexist guy who grades women more harshly than dudes and is a bit of an incel type. That just seems like a crock, in my humble opinion. Again, I would like it if it were true, because that would be a much simpler situation to contain and to prevent from reoccurring. But I have a feeling it's not that simple and not that easy to contain, unfortunately. Because yeah, if it is what I'm afraid it might be, and then it is basically likely the same thread, the same scenario or narrative as the Kylie Rodney case, in my opinion. It's just a lot harder to uh, fight against that. Like, what can we do as common people? If you get assaulted in the parking lot, oh well. Just one that I could see. He did see me and I saw him. He waited for me to leave and I ran when I saw him. No, they didn't do anything even after cameras. Wow. That is just so frightening. A silencing, Rachel Smith says. MSM is painting him into a corner to make public think this is it. I know. I really agree with that, Nico, that they're just really trying to make him the bad guy. And of course, if he did it, then yeah, that would make him really bad. But all these pictures where he looks so creepy, I'm just not sure that they're not touching those up, or that they're not, going through the probably thousands of photos that they have of him and then picking the top 10 creepiest looking ones. I'm just not really trusting this whole narrative that it just doesn't make sense that he'd be that angry and willing to take that high of a risk, and then to be a criminology doctoral student and to do so many stupid things. I mean, of course, being book smart, being street smart, we know those are two different things entirely, but the narrative is that he is this super smart guy and that he's doing these super stupid things. And it's like, it's the talking out of both sides of the mouth. You can't have it both ways. He's either smart or he's stupid, right? Don't do substances ever. Life has too many troubles to add free ones. I remember when this first happened, everyone wanted to know how Kaylee could buy the car she had. Right, Heavenly Clouds. Right. And it seems like we're kind of getting back to that. And not just with substances, but with the other kind of trafficking as well, with that whole fans only fans, whatever the heck it is. That thing. I think there's a lot to that. That's my opinion. Artel in Cabo uses the sharp things quick and not loud if done right. Correct, because yeah, the things that firearms are way too loud um, in these tight areas, these highly densely populated areas. It's not simple. This was a massacre, right? And the only way I think it could be 10 minutes is if there was at least two of them, if not four of them. But even just with Xana and Ethan both being awake, there had to be at least two of them, in my opinion. Katie Bug, they said they'd watch him. Oh my goodness, that is really awful. That's all they're going to do is watch him. Can you read my comment about Operation? Can you do it again, Katie Bug? I really don't want to go backwards with the way this thing has been acting this morning. So yeah, if you can type it in again, I'd be happy to read your comment about Operation Janus. Is that how you say it? I sketched his face. Harsh lived in an apartment right next door. Surveillance on their house at all time possible. The van life girl made great video on the substances and possible retribution that could have been. Interesting. Very interesting. Katie Bug, I don't know which comment and scrolling up messes up Xena. Yeah, I cannot. I'm not going to do it this morning, especially because this thing is jumping around like crazy, even when I'm not scrolling backwards. Take a picture of me right now. I look very creepy. Oh, Liza, that's a good one. That's great. That's so funny. Being that Harsh's mom is from San Diego and now he's down there, could be substance ties there. There's substance ties everywhere, you guys. I mean, that's just the nature of our country right now. Yes, Zena, I agree. The truth will come out slowly. And oh my God, the world is so messed up. And God, I'm really glad that you are okay. Yes, Michael McAllister. I'm sure that was for the imprint. Please do not be rude to creator. Ask questions without being accusatory of her angles. Aha. Oh yeah, let's not forget that Harsh did admit developing a strand of weed and there's a grow next to his parents' house. Well, see, in California, isn't it legal to have a grow next to your house? I don't know. I mean, we know that recreational use is legal, so I'm sure growing a certain amount is legal. I've seen people in a rage that could be possible, but I get why they think it was more than one. Just thought it could be just one, but I grew up around criminals. So imprint, you were very welcome. You think the investigator knew him for a while? Whoa. You think they were in cahoots potentially, imprint? I mean, that's a distinct possibility. Wow. That's heavy duty. I'm so sorry. What a pile of crap to have to deal with. I heard another channel that BK gave Harsh a ride home. I will have to look who said that. Strange. Yeah, people say a lot of stuff. So yeah, we got to be careful. Just because somebody said it on YouTube don't mean nothing. Even if 10 people say it on YouTube, it don't mean nothing. Like I'm sure I've heard at least 10 people say that Brent Lee Kopaka was the did the IT at the University of Idaho. I'm sure I've heard at least 10 channels report that, but I still haven't seen a receipt. So I'm not running with that at all. I would like to see something to substantiate that. It would be pretty fascinating if it is true. As would this what you just said, Heavenly Clouds. I didn't highlight that one. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to read the last few comments and then sign off for the morning and then do my little short Cliff Notes thing. Trinity's fake aunt had a field grow around the house. Definitely. as did Trinity's ex-stepdad, the deputy that just celebrated 20 years, I think, Christopher Stanio, the Nevada County deputy sheriff. He had all kinds of grows around his house. Operation Heinous happened here in Texas 2 days ago. Heinous is people that idolize the number 17. It includes cases all the way to Alaska. Chief said shining onto the darkness. Wow, Katie Bug, thank you for sharing that. Wow, that's just mind-blowing. Brings the Kylie Rodney case right to mind, huh? Yes, I have to be on lockdown for the next 2 weeks, Caleb Lee. And he talked about him like he watched him grow up. Ooh, creepy. Really creepy. Please don't time me out. I had not said anything wrong, but I'm a grown-up and don't know what I was timed out for. I don't know, Harsh. That was the mod. So thank you for speaking up. Definitely. LOL, fans only. I know. I'm telling you, I'm dyslexic. Once I get wires crossed, it's nearly impossible to uncross them. So fans only. I should be able to remember that because alphabetical order, F and then O. But yeah, I'll do it again, I'm sure. LOL, fans only. It's okay, Zena. My 15-year-old correct me when I said it like you did. You could imagine, look at my dear son and his father. So funny. Yeah. I mean, it's just a weird phenomena. And it seems like it's probably a multi-billion-dollar company, fans only. I looked it up. And it's not an American company. Is it Australian? Or it's in the UK? I think it's British. Anyway, there are fans only jobs in Austin, but one of my commenters, and was it you, Liza, or was it someone else who reminded me that there are a lot of jobs in Austin, Texas, and especially a lot of high tech jobs. So I appreciate that. You know, it's important to keep an open mind. Absolutely. Hopefully everyone here has a great day and bless you all. Definitely made me think of her, especially since I've heard her parents lived on Texas. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know Kylie Rodney's parents ever lived in Texas. If that's who you are referring to, Katie Bug. I know that her mother and her stepdad were in Nevada and maybe Montana also. And oh, it's OnlyFans? Okay, so it's not the alphabetical order. Too funny. Oh my goodness, I just have to laugh at myself. It's all good. No harm, no foul. Okay. Typed it in. YouTube came up with OnlyFans, FYI. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. See, because they're all on vacation today because it's a national holiday and because the boss just quit. So, yeah, it's just a weird name. OnlyFans. I don't know. I think it's a weird name. That's just me. Anyway, I'm going to say have a great day, you guys. Take really good care of yourself. Make sure you eat right and exercise and stretch and relax. Get your rest. Pray, meditate, eat, pray, love. Stay hydrated. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to everyone around you. Absolutely make sure that everyone around you is kind to you and treats you with respect. I think the origins of the survey and whether there was a research group for it and if BK was directed to post it should be vetted. The sales needs to be looked at. Rachel Smith, that is pretty darn brilliant. I have not heard anybody go that angle and that route, and I'd say that's extremely intelligent. The boss quit, Liza says. Yeah, apparently the 9-year CEO of YouTube, that was in the news this morning. Allegedly. Everyone be safe and stay healthy. Yes. And happy President's Day. Hope you guys have the day off. And I will do my cliff notes, and you'll see that up later this afternoon. And see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow, hopefully. Thanks so much for joining me. Sending you light, sending you love.